When I woke him, Ramin started to cry. At first, I thought maybe he's sick, with his red cheeks and that hoarse voice. I touched his forehead, but honestly, it wasn't very hot. He just didn't want to get out of bed. He asked me, "Do I have to go to school?" And I told him, "Yes, it is late. You should hurry up." "I don't want to go. I have a headache." I felt his forehead again. It was still a bit hot. He started to cry. Worried, I asked, "What is the matter? Are you in pain?" He just said no. So I told him, "Get up, it's getting late." But he insisted, "I'm not going to school. I don't want to go." "What nonsense. How can you stay away from school? You have a trip today. Have you forgotten?" But he replied, "I don't want to go on the trip either. I have a headache." "Don't be silly. What about me? I have to go to work. If I don't, they'll fire me." But he just said, "But I don't want to go to school." I hugged him and lifted him up, but he lay down again with his back to me. I was getting angry. He was 8 years old, but he was behaving like a small child. "Ramin, don't be a bother," I cried. "I'm going to make your sandwiches. When I come back, you should be dressed and ready." And I left. I made the sandwiches and returned to his bedroom, but he was still lying down, face to the wall and motionless. "What's the matter with you?" I said. "It's 8 o'clock. When are you going to have your breakfast and leave?" "Damn it, I have to be at work by 9. He said nothing. I sat by his bed and tried to be calm, but in fact I was very angry. "Does it hurt?" I asked. "Why don't you say something? You're not a child anymore. If you're sick, tell me, I'll take you to a doctor." I lifted him up. "Okay, let's go into the dining room and have breakfast, and you tell me what you dreamed. But I'm not going to school. Why?" "I don't feel like it." I hugged him, brought him into the dining room and sat him down on a chair. I put his cereal and milk in front of him. "Well, tell me about your dream." He ignored his cereal and me and lowered his head, tears rolling down his cheeks. I guessed he had dreamed about Elaheh, Nahid's daughter. We don't see each other often. Nahid is studying at university and is always busy. I said, "Do you miss her? I'll call this weekend, and if she's not busy, we'll go and see her. Elaheh is good with children. I didn't dream of that Elaheh. So, which one?" "I don't know. I've forgotten her mother's name." "Is she our friend from here?" "No." "In Iran?" "No." "In Turkey?" "No." "In Germany?" "No." "In Bulgaria?" He was surprised. "Bulgaria? Where's Bulgaria?" "Don't you remember when we were traveling from Turkey to Germany? They detained us in Bulgaria. Don't you remember Mrs. Sarmadi's daughter? She was 8 years old, older than you. Her name was Elaheh." He thought a little. "Did she wear a blue and white dress?" What a question! How could I remember the girl's dress? I just remember that she had pretty dresses and brown hair, honey-coloured eyes. Her mother always combed her hair in 2 pigtails and tied them in coloured ribbons. I was sure Ramin had been dreaming about her. That few days that we travelled together, Ramin was friendly with her. Ramin was 6 years old and the girl was 8. She was a bossy girl, and Ramin obeyed her. "I'm sure you're talking about that girl," I said. "Did she wear a white and blue dress?" "I don't remember because she changed her dress every day, but she had brown hair and her eyes were like honey." "Honey? What do you mean?" I realized he didn't understand me. "It's a light colour, not like your eyes, which are black." I don't remember what colour my Elaheh's eyes were, but she had on a blue dress and her collar was made of white lace. We were playing together, like when we were children. "Oh," I said, "I remember you're talking about your Aunt Farzana and Elaheh, her daughter." "Which Aunt Farzana?" He was surprised. "Your real aunt, my sister, in Iran." I brought our photo album and showed him a picture of Farzana with her husband and Elaheh. He looked at it. "No, it's not her, she's a baby." I was exhausted. The clock showed 10 minutes past 8. He hadn't had his breakfast and hadn't dressed. "Sweetie, have your breakfast, it's getting late." He got up from the chair and sat on the sofa, embraced his knees and said, "I'm not going to school today. I miss Elaheh." Tears streamed down his face. I lost my patience and shouted at him, "Why are you behaving like a baby? How do I know which Elaheh you're talking about? Which country does she come from?" As the tears flowed down his face, he asked, "Does every country have an Elaheh?" The countries we've lived in and passed through, each one of them had an Elaheh who you liked. Then who was the one who wore the blue dress? I got really angry and shouted, "The Elaheh in the cemetery." "You mean my Elaheh is dead?" he cried loudly. "The one who was my friend? We had promised to get married when we grew older." I smiled to myself and thought, what a surprise. Such a small child can fall in love and make plans to marry. Then I said, "Oh really, congratulations. So you were in love, and I didn't know." His eyes still brimming with tears, he laughed and said, "Did I do something bad?" "No, love is not bad." Ramin's tears stopped, his face covered with a childish grin. "Yes, it's good." And then again he asked me, "Tell me what happened to her, where is she?" And he put the problem in my lap again, without offering any clue to solve it. "I'll have to think about that," I said. "It's not easy for me to find the Elaheh of your dreams. First of all, eat breakfast quickly, get dressed and get going to school. I have to go to work. Then when school is finished and work is finished, we can think about it. Maybe we'll remember where she is, the Elaheh of your dreams." He accepted my logic and sat down at the table. We got ready as fast as we could. I sent him to school with his lunchbox in his hand. As I lost him in the crowd of children, I wondered, in which country did the child lose his first love?